There's someone else is on the market. And, this might be a good segue into our next thing. But apparently Tyler Lockett is also on the market.
Yeah. Yep, he is on the market. Apparently the Seahawks were potentially going to throw him in and ask for Jerry Jeudy, and the Broncos didn't want to do it.
I have no problem with the Broncos receiving core right now. So why would you
break up that? Yeah.
And like we said about Noah Fant leaving, it's like there's still so many tight ends that are out there right now. So
the best tight end free agency market in probably NFL history. We have a video on it. Yeah. So Tyler Lockett is on the market still. A lot of Seahawks fans I've been seeing on Twitter and on like Bleacher Report, ESPN Plus, I've been seeing a lot of Seahawks fans saying they would rather get rid of DK Metcalf over Tyler Lockett. I don't know what he did to them, but that's kind of weird. I get Tyler Lockett is more versatile, but DK Metcalf is more of a stereotypical number one.
Yeah, I think DK. I don't think Lockett's bad, but I think after
if you're going full rebuild, get rid of them both.
Exactly. Like if Russ is gone, which he is, but DK Metcalf is probably the next best player on offense.
I would say if you're going full rebuild, if your team is going full rebuild, get rid of them both. If you think that you're gonna win, I don't think you should trade Tyler Lockett.
You could get another first for DK. Like you could with what we got for Diggs was what, like a 1 and a 4, 1 and a 5, something like that.
That's probably similar to what you get for DK.
So
you might get
was a 1 and a 3, I think we got. So you're looking at that 1 and a mid pick.
If there's one thing the Seahawks need, it's capital.
They need picks, man. They had 3 picks last year.
But it is a good segue because along with Tyler Lockett, one player that the Seahawks did trade is Russell Wilson. Mr. Unlimited is gone. Who do you look for inspiration? Mr. Unlimited. Oh, that clip. Anyway, Russell Wilson's gone. He is on the Denver Broncos of all places. Everybody thought they were thinking about Aaron Rodgers. Apparently, they made an offer for Aaron Rodgers 2 weeks prior, and the Packers said that they were planning on re-signing. But so then they went out, and they apparently were thinking about Deshaun Watson, Russell Wilson. There was one other quarterback that I saw reported that they tried to make an offer for.
Kirk was I don't think Kirk was ever made an offer for, but Kirk has always kind of been on that radar because George Patton was here. But I didn't expect that to happen either.
They successfully got Russell Wilson, it's no longer Sports Authority Field, I don't think. I can't remember what it's called.
6 picks in that trade.
6 total picks.
4 players.
I think it's fair. The Washington Commanders also traded for a quarterback that we'll talk about, but the Washington Commanders apparently made an offer of 3 first-round picks for Russell Wilson. And the Seahawks said no. Last year, the Chicago Bears reportedly offered 4 first-round picks for Russell Wilson, and the Seahawks said no. So I think this is all proof. What the Seahawks wanted was players in return.
Yeah, I was just thinking if the Commanders called me and were like, "Hey, we want Russell Wilson," I would have responded with, "Okay, we want Chase Young."
Right.
And then there would have been no segue at that point. And I'm guessing the same thing happened with the Bears last year. They're like, "Hey, we want Russell Wilson." They're like, "Okay, we want Khalil Mack." Nothing happened after that.
I would assume that they asked for Font. They asked for Shelby Harris, and you said there was a third player from the
probably the best player in the trade. I'd have to go like the best player in the trade in general. Drew Lock.
Oh yeah. All these elite quarterbacks getting traded: Carson Wentz, Russell Wilson, and then you got the signing of Aaron Rodgers. But
right. No one's talking about Drew Lock.
Nobody's talking about the Seahawks getting the best quarterback. Seahawks getting the best quarterback in everything, which is future Hall of Famer. Can't spell Hall of Fame without Drew. So Russell Wilson, I think that is just proof the Seahawks wanted players. They turned down 4 picks. They turned down 3 picks. I would assume that with like the Commanders, they probably were like, nope, we want bring that down to 2 firsts, but we want Chase Young and Antonio Gibson.
Yeah.
And with the Bears last year, they were probably like, no, 4 firsts, Darnell Mooney, Allen Robinson. They were probably asking for all these different.
That's ridiculous. But I mean, you're probably right. I mean, they probably want
players.
Like they want players, like surefire players, because they don't want to have to draft. Because
Shelby Harris is underrated, by the way. Very good defensive lineman.
Right, absolutely.
I think against the run, he's awesome.
Yeah, and then, I mean, they needed a quarterback because they have to start someone.
Broncos I think he's still, based on his total career, he's the second best quarterback in the division. Based off of how I think he's going to perform, I think he's third best quarterback in the division. In the best quarterback division in football.
Absolutely.
Without a doubt.
without a doubt.
When Derek Carr is the worst quarterback in the division, that is a very good division.
Yeah, I mean, if Trubisky was back with the Bears, I would say the NFC North probably would be the best.
Yeah,
So,
Jared Goff, Mitch Trubisky,
yeah.
Jordan Love, and Kirk Cousins. That's insane.
Yeah. Kellen Mond, Sean Mannion.
I don't think the Broncos are, if they re-sign Von Miller like is rumored.
The Broncos want to do what they did with Peyton. They got Peyton towards the end of his career, and he won them a Super Bowl. They getting Russell Wilson in a bit better shape.
It's another team that has a not great offensive line, though. They are on the up and up. They still need pieces. Like it's not an established piece. Russell doesn't make the players around him better like Peyton does.
No, that's not like we were talking about tight ends. Like first thing that came to my mind was like they need to go get Hayden Hurst now. They need to go get Hayden Hurst. They need to go get a receiving threat. Like they absolutely
Hayden Hurst, draft an early wide receiver or
they don't need wides.
They don't need a tight end. Like go get OJ Howard and Hayden Hurst.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
The Seahawks, I think you should go into full
blow
rebuild.
It up.
Blow it up.
Absolutely.
I think
100%.
Build your offensive scheme around similar to like the Niners, where you go tight end and run focused. Get rid of a lot of your young talent on offense and enter full rebuild. The last time you guys had a quarterback as good as Russell Wilson, I can't remember. Matt Hasselbeck
for a year.
Yeah. I think if I were a Seahawks fan, I'd be sad. I'd be very sad because I understood that everybody knew the team was at odds, like Wilson and Carroll and all that. But to choose a guy that has like super bad control issues with Pete Carroll as the guy that you went with instead of Russell Wilson, that's pretty rough. Overall, I think the Broncos won the trade. And I think they didn't have to give up as much as I would have expected. We talked about it that night. You said you thought they gave up a lot. I said I thought they didn't give up enough. I think overall they gave up a lot, but how much is a franchise quarterback worth?
I mean, you're right. But 2 1s, 2 2s. I mean, the 5th and 4th are interchangeable, but like 2 1s and 2 2s, like that's.
If you removed the name Russell Wilson and you said you were getting a quarterback that went to 2 Super Bowls in his first 3 years and won one.
Yeah, but like if I'm giving up 2 1s, 2 2s, 3 players, and a 5th. Like I'm giving away 8 things. I'm giving away 8 things for one person.
Yep. Well,
he also got one person to pick. Right. So that just seems like if you take the name Russell Wilson out and you're like, all right, I'm trading 5 picks and 3 players for a pick and a player. Like that's
you would expect to be
crazy.
getting a Hall of Famer.
You're right.
And what are they getting?
Yeah,
they're getting a Hall of Famer.
I know, but like
it's a lot.
It's a lot.
But you mentioned this, like we were talking today. How much is Patrick Mahomes worth?
Right.
You and I said I said I would do first round pick.
I said 10 picks, and I was like, no, that's too low. Yeah.
He's worth a first round pick for every year he's on your roster. If he plays as long as Brady, that's 20 first round picks. With him on your roster, you have a chance to win it every year. Russell Wilson takes this Denver Bronco team that I don't see a lot of. Like, I don't think that they're a playoff team. You add Russell Wilson, and all of a sudden, potentially, they might be better than the Chargers.
I mean, their wide receivers are incredible.
Yes,
they got to fix the O-line. They got to get some blocking.
Their DBs are good. I think get some O-line, get some D-line.
Was like second. Their defense total was like second.
Right.
They need pieces. Right?
I think that they get O-line, D-line, and tight ends. And they're set. They got a good running back. Yep. They got 2 good running backs. O-line, D-line.
I'm very, very curious to see how that shakes out, because all those games in division are going to be insane. All those games. So right now, I know this might sound a little different than what we've said, but right now everybody's projecting the Broncos to finish anywhere from first, last. I'm seeing a lot more negativity in terms of how they're going to finish. I think the Broncos are finishing second in the division. I think they will be division or the conference
division. I think they will be behind the Chiefs, potentially around tied with the Chargers, but I think getting Russell Wilson makes them a wild card team.